So guys, it is official now. Paulo Costa has pulled out of his fight against Khamzat. Now, before we get into all of that, if you're a martial artist, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter, which is in the description below. It's for anyone that trains martial arts that's interested in their health. So if you're just interested in, MMA news, there's no need to subscribe to the newsletter. You can just watch my channel, that's fine. But if you're a martial artist and you train, you should definitely subscribe to that newsletter in the description below. You'll also get my free ebook, Combat Training Essentials, when you subscribe as well. All right, now let's get into it. I guess this isn't a big surprise to us all, is it? Obviously, with that surgery on his elbow, which he did later disclose to us that it was a staph infection. So unfortunately, that fight is no longer going to take place, and it's really disappointing. And he's just been lighting people up on Twitter. Obviously, people have been giving him a lot of shit about this because he's been pulling out of fights constantly, and he's just trying to cover his tracks, really, because I think Paulo Costa understands that this is not a particularly good look for him. Pulling out of all of these fights just doesn't bode well, and I'm sure quite a few of them, there wasn't really a legitimate excuse there. Obviously missing weight against Marvin Vettori, a whole host of other issues surrounding him. So it's just unfortunate. Now, Paulo Costa did come out and said, look, the UFC knew about it. They knew he was injured, but they were still going to try and get him within this fight against Khamzat, but things just haven't panned out. So, luckily we did have Volkanovski come in and save the card after Oliveira pulls out, but this is the second big fight that we've had people pull out of, and I just don't know who's going to fight Khamzat now. I seen Chael Sonnen tweet out something today, which was a bit cryptic, saying Strickland, but there's just no way that Sean Strickland's going to come out and fight him. But if anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be him, right? Because the guy's absolutely nuts. Definitely got a few screws loose in his head. But this leaves UFC 294 a little bit underwhelming, in my opinion. These two fights are really what held the card together. But really now it's just extremely top heavy. The only fight that's pretty much exciting or that anyone really cares about is Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. Paulo Costa versus Khamzat was the other, and now that's no longer happening. So who do you guys think is going to actually step in and take Paulo Costa's place here? I'm not sure of anyone within that middleweight division that's going to be stepping in and taking a fight against him on such short notice. So let's just have a quick look at the middleweight ranking. Let's just have a look at what could potentially transpire. So obviously we've got Sean Strickland, who's the champion. I don't think that's going to happen. And look, we're 10 days out. Israel Adesanya, doubt he's going to come in after losing his title to Sean Strickland. It definitely seemed to me that he wanted to take some time off, so I'd definitely rule those guys out. Dricus du Plessis, obviously, with a little bit of an injury, he didn't fight Israel Adesanya, and Sean Strickland took his place, so I think that rules him out as well. But we've got Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker could potentially step in here. I definitely think that's another option, and that would definitely save this card. Robert Whittaker is one of the best fighters in the world. Obviously, had a fantastic run, and Robert Whittaker will definitely want to be bouncing back after his recent loss. But for him to come out and just fight Khamzat, that's a massive, massive risk for him, because that will potentially rule him out of title contention if Khamzat does get the win here. So, I don't know. I'd love to see it, but I'm not so sure it's going to happen. And then we've got, Marvin Vettori. That's not going to happen. I don't see it. I don't know, guys. I don't know if Khamzat is going to actually fight on this card. I don't think he is. I think this is done. What do you guys think? I don't know who's going to actually replace him. If I had to pick one fighter, it would definitely be Robert Whittaker, but I don't even know what he's up to at the moment or what he's doing, whether he's even been training. But 10 days to get ready for Khamzat doesn't seem like a smart move. But maybe he's got some inspiration from Alexander Volkanovski. Who knows? But look, UFC 294, there's really not much more to say. We'll see how the rest of the day pans out. And if someone does step in and replace Paulo Costa, who knows, maybe the time I finish editing this video and getting it out to you guys, there's already a replacement. But that's all from me. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone.